Hey, and you survived another week. Thank you for joining us here at the Black Man with the Gun Show. And this is not really the Black Man with the Gun Show. What we gonna call this thing, man? This is your biggie. This is your thing.
No, man, it's still the Black Man with the Gun Show because when you look at it, you're gonna edit it and put it on the podcast. So, welcome to the Black Man with the Gun Show. I'm the co-host, Michael Woodland.
Cool, man. Cool. Mike, what's going on with you this week?
Not too much, man. I had hung out with my little assistant this weekend. And,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we did daddy-daughter stuff, hanging out, having a good time, and
Cutest
overall,
girl in the world.
just bonding.
Yeah. You got the cutest little girl in the world.
Thanks, man. She's a handful, especially like when it's time for her to make her bed and clean her room. Her favorite saying is, "It's not fair." Why isn't it not fair? You made the mess. It's not fair. Okay, well, until you tell me why it's not fair, you're going to keep doing it.
Should look at the Lion King. That's the Lion King. That's Scar's line.
Yeah, so like I said, getting reintroduced to all these cartoons, man, it's like it's mind blowing how when I was younger, I was all into like the G.I. Joe Transformers.
Right.
Now I'm all into Paw Patrol, Super Readers. So
PJ Mask.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it goes on for days. And don't like we went to Walmart. Was that Sunday? Because I told her I was gonna buy her a treat or whatever. She did good with her eating. So we was going down the toy aisle, and she was just naming every toy we went by. Oh, that's Paw Patrol. That's this person. That's this person. Oh, that's Super Readers. That's them. That's them. And I'm sitting there like, have we even seen half these cartoons yet? So it just blew my mind. Like wow. So, but then again, I guess you could say, welcome to parenthood.
Parenthood in 2018 is a different thing.
Oh yeah, that is it, right there. Yeah, man. So you had interesting show last week. It was pretty touching.
Talking about the gun rights in the last 20 some years.
Yeah, that portion and how it connected with everything that's going on today with the shooting that took place in Parkland, Florida.
Yeah.
I
kind of want to put some balance to it because everybody's like just spun up, and you got to have a platform. The only thing that's built on sand is the pyramids.
Right.
So you got to be really, really poignant when you're doing something. And we got a lot of like smart people on our side, and you throwing facts and you're just throwing your pearls before swine. It's people who can't even register what you're trying to help them with. And they think that this thing is brand new. Like this is new for them. But and if you wonder why the National Rifle Association or a lot of organizations don't like react the same way that they are, like if you're like and then somebody's like, let me tell you why we're doing this, you can't figure it out why they're not as hyped up as you. It's because they've been in this fight for a minute. It's kind of like being a veteran of several deployments, and then you get that new private that comes around and their eyes are like this big. This fight's been going on since the invention of gunpowder. So I try to put some perspective to it. That's all.
Oh yeah, I mean, you made valid points, and I think you got your message across.
Thanks, man.
Because at the same time, when you turn around and you look at it, I know for me, like when I be hearing people talk, a lot of times I like to. It's like you're playing chess. You got to think 10 moves ahead, and the 10 moves ahead is I don't want to see anything happen to any of the rights, but I also know if you do anything to the Second Amendment, that's the gateway to doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And we got folks, man, who don't even know any of the amendments. They don't even know the Constitution. They don't know that states have rights. They don't know that everything that we have has been fought for, and that people have died to keep what we have. They don't know. They don't know the amount of effort. When you protest your government, which you have the right to do so, which the grievances in the First Amendment, we think is just a freedom of speech, but it's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah.
When you go out there and you tell people that you want to change something, you got to know what you're asking, and most of them don't. They think that if I just get rid of these potato chips, that my fat problem will go away. It ain't like that.
Yeah. So normally what I do is when I'm out and about or like somebody's talking to me and we start talking rights or anything, I have these little pocket constitutions.
Nice.
And, you know, I just give them to people. I don't charge them. Like, here, just take one, man. Read up on the Constitution. Because, you know, like when I was younger, that's what my dad used to do. He used to challenge me and my brother and be like,
Wow.
you know, hey, go look this up and see what it says. Right.
That's
And
some stuff.
then, yeah, then later on, you know, like, okay, when somebody says something to you, now when people start talking to you, they're going to look at you funny because, hey, how do you know that? Why do you know that? You know? So, but yeah, my parents, man, like my family, they're big on that, knowing your rights and standing up for yourself.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
why you're hard charger.
No, it's just one of those type things. Like one of my buddies put it in perspective of you just don't let people walk over you. And you're not supposed to anyway, but half the time when people walk over you, it's because you don't know, you know. So, but like I said, if you know what to do, what the outcome is, and everything else, you know how to better prepare yourself. You know.
Man, I remember the first time I got a chance to talk to a congressional body of state legislators in Richmond, Virginia. There was this lady who was with us, and nice looking lady. She was a doctor, a veterinarian, and we were talking, you know, a couple of minutes before we all testified. And she got on the stand, and the next thing I know, this lady was talking about how she was a concealed carry permit holder, but this restaurant that she went to didn't allow guns, so she left her gun in the car. When this guy runs a vehicle into this restaurant with her and her parents and starts shooting people, and I had no idea she had just come through some dramatic, traumatic stuff, man. And she lost her parents in this thing. And she said if she had had her gun, if she was a criminal, if she had gone against the law and brought her gun in here, she could have actually defended herself and her family. But she had to crouch down behind a chair, and hopefully he didn't get her. Um, she actually escaped, I believe, with her mother, and she looked back, and her dad was still there. Um, you don't know how real that stuff is until you meet one of these people, and almost everybody has one or two things to do. You're either going to say, "This will never happen to me again," or you want to put your head in the sand. And it's actually it's natural. Not everybody's a fighter. There's a lot of people who will run, and sometimes I think we get a little bit too bold. Want everybody to be like us, and everybody's not made like us. We don't. Everybody doesn't run to the fight.
Right. So what's your take on that sheriff at the Parkland High School?
Man, I have rarely met a sheriff that wasn't a political guy, and that enough is almost a bad word to me. You can't serve the people and the king at the same time. You more the sheriff of Nottingham. You serving the king, the evil guy. You always got an agenda. In law enforcement was the same way. The chiefs of police, the lead law enforcement folks, they were all political appointees, friends of somebody, and their rules for the regular officer was way different. They would always try to put some stuff on you, and I think everybody's talking about, you know, he should resign, he should get him out of there. I'm in agreement with that.
You are or you're not?
I am.
Oh yeah,
Got to
because
go.
I know honestly what I stated was, you know, to me that was a coward act. You know, and only reason I say that is because I'm trained to run towards the bullet sounds,
Yep.
and there's been plenty of times whereas I've gotten in trouble for going to the fight without my gear on, just a couple magazines and my rifle.
I know, but everybody not hardwired like that, and unfortunately, in our day and age, you don't really know where you're going to go until the cow excrement hits the oscillating device. You don't know where you're going to stand unless you've been tried. by fire. And unfortunately, in this day and age, everything's recorded. So in your moment of weakness, when you like don't want to run and you want to hide, your stuff is out there. So you might want to find another job if you can.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, you know, on the opposite side of that spectrum, somebody who is not doing no coward acts, he's actually sacrificing his livelihood in the gun industry. Hank Strange.
Yeah, and, yeah. I want to talk to Hank because
I'm doing an interview with him.
Nice.
Sometime this week, either tomorrow or before the end of the week, and
Good
I'm gonna have that to you by Saturday or Sunday. You know,
excellent.
Yeah, because actually I spoke with him today. It was just through text, and I asked him like, "Yo, man, let's do this," and he was like, "Okay, let's do it." You know, so he just got to confirm some stuff because it's crazy, man. It was like Friday, you know, he did his little show, and I was watching it, and then all of a sudden Saturday, it was like, "Hey, they're shutting me down." Like, are you serious? What's really going on here? And it's just not him. It's targeting a lot of other gun channels also. And it's just, and I think what's taking place is people are just going on there complaining about whatever. Once you complain and you get so many strikes, you know what I'm saying, they make it whereas you can't come back, you know. So but you know, like a lot of those heavy hitters who's up there big time, you know, all of them feeling the wrath of whatever's going on with this Strikeageddon. I guess that's what you can call it, you know. But he's doing okay. He has his supporters and he has his mission. He's driving forward, but I'm gonna save that for the interview that we actually do where we talk about it.
Cool, man. Cool. That was on my list. I'm glad you're knocking it out. Man, it's good to have a partner in this thinking.
Man, you know how I do it. I told you I think outside the box.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, but outside of that though, man, ain't nothing really going on with me. Next week I'm supposed to be going to do this competition with Johnny called Cola Wars.
Nice.
I'm not really looking forward to it.
And why?
Oh man, this is one of those awkward competitions where you do a shooting course and an obstacle course. So you know you can be doing your running, your jumping, tire yourself out, shoot under stress. I'm cool with that because you know I've been doing that for years on end. The part I'm not cool with is you got to drink was like a total of 6 cans of carbonated drink, and you're still doing the obstacle course. You know, yeah. So it's like one of those, and I don't even drink soda like that. You know, I drink more water and juice than anything.
Poison.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, you know.
Oh, that's why it's Cola.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up on that one. I already know that.
Yeah. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's like a test. I don't know who came up with this fulcrum for this test, but I'm like, what if you're a diabetic? You can't do that. What's the substitute gonna be? You know?
Man, drinking a lot of liquids anyway is gonna make you feel funny anyway. So
yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I'll probably do the next show out of the hospital, so be prepared for that one. Dirty and everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So where is this gonna be at? South Carolina, Georgia? Where?
It's in Georgia, someplace in Georgia. Because honestly, I was thinking of I was gonna make an excuse to try to get out of it. But you know, that's not me because I'm that type of person. If I tell you I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's just now I'm more like, oh man, I really don't want to do this because you know it's the whole running portion, the shooting. I'm cool with that. The drinking of the soda, I'm not cool with that. But it's like 2 or 3 days worth of stuff, and yeah, I know you got to take apart an AK. It's AK-47. You got to take it apart and put it back together and do a functions check on it.
All right.
I'm not cool with that one because you know I'm not an AK guy. You know,
it's not that bad. That thing's like really basic.
Oh yeah, once because he said there's going to be a station there where you can take it apart and put it together. Somebody will show you how to do it. once I do it 2 or 3 times, I'm
You'll
good.
have it. You'll have it.
Yeah, I had it, but it's just like all the AKs we confiscated. We always had like 3 or 5 guys, platoon. And that was
their
the
thing.
task. Yeah, like okay, take these apart, make them work, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then we turn around and once we do whatever we do, we give it to the police. You know, that's how they arm their police force. You know,
dude, guns are funky like that. I remember one time I was in Afghanistan way before Osama bin Laden was a bad name, and we were against the Russians, and these Mujahideen freedom fighters had confiscated this pistol that had a built-in suppressor into it. It looked kind of like a Walter PPK with a suppressor on the front of it built in. And my boss was all happy with this thing, and he was messing with it like all night. And then early in the morning, he knocks on my door and he says, "Hey man, you getting ready to go in the command center?" And I said, "Yeah. If you have a few moments, can you put this thing back together?" He had taken it apart and had it in a brown sandwich bag. He couldn't get the pieces back together. And I thought, man, I've never seen this gun in my life, and you want me to put it back together? But I had nothing but time. So by the time they got back, I had it back together. But man,
oh yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, it's like I said, like I've seen people take apart an AK, but like I'm not interested in them. You know, even like when I was over in that was Afghanistan. They had the contractors. They would come to our range and do their practice or whatever, and I just happened to be walking past the range. And when I saw him out there, I just walked over there, and he was like, "Yeah, you can shoot it if you want." And I was like, "Well, I'm not really an AK guy." And then he was like, "Oh man, but it's shooting." And I shot it and everything, but like I said, it's just not for me. Like ARs are not for everybody. AKs are just not for me.
I got you.
Yeah.
Speaking of shoot, man, I got a chance to shoot this thing over the weekend.
Oh yeah, that thing looks beautiful though.
Man, this is the 627 V Comp by Smith, and has a compensator on the front of it. I have never had a revolver with a compensator. It's got the whole grips on the back of it. It's probably the nicest revolver I've ever had in my hand, and it's shot like the real deal. It made me like want to become a revolver guy again, because usually somebody will pop up at the range with a revolver, and you kind of look at it and you go, I remember shooting this thing and have to do the speed loader drill and the PPC courses back in the day, the practical pistol courses back in the day when I first became a law enforcement person. But this thing is the best of everything this thing has ever made. It has 8 shots, man. I've never seen a 357 with 8 shots. So none of the speed loaders that I had in the dusty, moldy holster bag in my safe even fit. So I got to buy some new gear. But I'm going to be shooting a mess out of this thing so that folks can see. But it's just
isn't Jerry Mishlik's the one he did the world record on? Wasn't that 8 shots or was it 6?
It probably was 8, because that dude is the truth.
Oh man, yeah. But then if you watch those reloads he was doing, I was like, he was doing that on a revolver.
So I got that to aspire to. I figure ain't nobody else trying it. I might as well be number 2.
Hey,
I'd be like, what's that commercial? We number 2.
Hey, handle it, do it.
Yeah, man.
I'll stick to the semi-autos.
it's a good challenge, so I'm going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so hey, like I said, by all means, knock it out.
Hopefully my next video will be the MMP 2.0 semi-auto. So next time I get a chance to go to the range, I'll be shooting that.
Nice. Yeah. I'm curious to see what you're gonna put out on that one. Because actually, when you send that one to me, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
Do like a quick little review on it.
You coming back Norfolk anytime soon?
You know that my aunt's birthday is the end of March, and I had told my cousin I might try to come home during that time frame, but I think we have our unit reunion the end of the month. I can't remember which one, but either way you look at it, it'll be March or April when I come.
Somewhere in April.
Yeah, but you know, normally like when I come up there, only thing I carry when I come up there is EDC. I don't bring extra stuff with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had that one bad experience at the range the last time I went up there when I did the competition match that I was telling you about, where somebody was specifically trying to get me disqualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
haters gonna hate.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was, because I was a new face there, and you know, like when I go to shoot, I don't wear a shirt that has a bunch of names on it, or you know, I just wear like a regular T-shirt. And of course, you know, when I showed up, jeans, boots, regular T-shirt, and a cap, and then you know my belt on, of course. And because I was a new face, I think they was more like, okay, we're going to show you the ropes and kind of coach you through it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I played along with it. And then as soon as the timer went off, I just went ahead and blazed it the way, you know, I do. And after that, then it was like, okay, we got to try to get this guy out of here. You know, and it was only one person that was really trying. So
that's how it is, man. Everybody can't be cool.
Yep. So yeah, my buddy Armament and Axis, he just put on the chat, you must get a KD hug on video. And I keep telling everybody, I am going to get that hug from Kevin Dixie.
Oh, right. That dude was doing some good stuff, man, on Instagram and other channels.
Oh yeah, Kevin's putting in that work.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so the whole thing about the hug that Kevin's going to get from me, and even if I got to pull out some jiu-jitsu, he is going to get that hug. You know, but I was talking to him on Instagram. We were just talking back and forth, and I can't remember, we was joking around. He called me a chump. You know, I'm a non-violent type guy, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna resolve this with a hug. So he gonna get a hug. He just don't know it yet. Yeah, but I'm gonna get it on video. I'm gonna catch it on video. But like I tell everybody, whenever we're doing an event, like if he comes down here and does a gun event, or I go to him and do a gun event, that's like neutral grounds. You know what I'm saying? So it got to be caught behind the scenes or whatever.
It's a no gi hug or a gi hug.
You know, Kevin used to be a cop also. You know what I'm saying? So he told me already, like, I only know the basics on how to defend myself in a situation like that. He said, but I ain't out there like you are. And I was like, okay, cool. That just gave me the armament of what I got to do. I got a leg sweep him or something.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
Man, what's really cool is that there is a growing number of instructors and teachers and facilitators and activists that never existed 20 years ago. And they're all over, and they're spreading the word, and they're almost self-sufficient, self-employed. They're not getting money from any giant corporation. Luckily, everybody's crowdfunding and getting a few pennies here and there. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, and I had that conversation with this guy up at Palmetto Armory the other day. We were sitting there, we was talking, and he pretty much was like, yo, man, you could be doing so much more financially. And I was like, it's not about the money for me. It's something I enjoy doing, and I love it, So, I really don't care about that. As long as I'm having fun and laughing and putting knowledge out there, that's what it all comes down to for me, But
that's cool, man. We have to talk to Paul Meldo, though.
Oh, wait. Oh, I just went up there just to goof around that day because I was already on that side of town.
Are they near you?
Yeah, actually, there's two locations. One's down the street about a mile and a half, but
That's
the
close.
big one is like on the other side of town. So it would literally
Still,
take about 15 minutes to get there.
still close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still
Because
close.
they've been cool out the gate, man. As soon as they started up.
Oh man, I can tell you, like, I went online one day and I was just looking. Ain't got nothing else to do. Let me just go online and see what's going on. You know, check out some deals and tell people, hey, look, they got sell on this or whatever. And I was blown away with half the stuff. I'm like, they practically giving stuff away. You know, it was something like you can get a Vortex Strike Force and 10 magazines for like $100 or something crazy like that. And I was like, man, but they have deals that are like you won't believe. You
Yeah,
know,
that's cool, man.
you
That's
know,
cool.
yeah. And imagine when I first found out that they were from South Carolina, I lost my mind. I mean, I was in the military, you know, like when I
Okay.
first heard about them, and I was like, Palmetto State Army. That's what they say in South Carolina. It's the Palmetto State. You know, so I was like, okay, you know, anything. Columbia is the capital, so it's going to be close to the capital. I already know that. You know.
Yeah, South Carolina's a cool place, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, especially if you're into football. You know, the only time I would say if you're into football, don't come around is when South Carolina and Clemson play, because you know that breaks up families right there.
Can't even get a room in that place then.
Yeah, you know, but you know I'm not a football guy either. You know, so like for me, I just go down to tailgate and just have fun and laugh with people and
Yeah.
conversate with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, so you know, you just be walking and somebody would be like, "Hey man, come on over here, get a burger, get some of this chicken." Chicken? You said chicken? Okay, let's get it. You know? So yeah, that's how it is with me down here, you know. And like I said, if you ever come down here during the football season, I'll take you out there and you will be amazed at how this is, man. They got like the big RV side, and then you got like another side where people just park,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the fraternity side. And it's like, man, it's like parties for days. You just go around and just have fun talking to people, you know. And then you got the people driving around on golf carts, you know. So it's amazing, man. It's a sight to see. It's a sight to see.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep. But what do you what's your take on all the jumping to conclusion with the gun laws and everything, and the president saying, you know, he's going to do the bump stocks without Congress, you know, if they don't come to a resolution?
Man, he's just throwing that under the bus. There's everybody wants somebody to do something. So politicians are trying to find something that they can use. So the bump stock is perfect because nobody cares.
Right.
Usually they've grabbed everything. When I started thinking about it last night and doing the podcast, I remember the magazine limitation thing where we're gonna make this thing only 10 rounds. And I thought, who cares about that? And then the next thing was adjustable stocks. And then they couldn't have a bayonet lug on the front of it. And they just picked some cosmetic thing, and it doesn't have to fix anything. It doesn't have to save a life. You just have to do something, and then everybody's happy. Oh yeah, why not? When I was in office, I got the colors turned from pink to black. There'll be no more pink guns now. And everybody's like, yeah, way to go. We'll vote for you again. And that's all they really want. And the people who are spun up and stirred up don't know that they're being played. And
Oh yeah.
the gun people who are already firearms owners, we're sometimes we get fired up when you might want to just hold up, because if you let the dust settle, they'll shoot each other. I mean, they'll just beat each other about not moving fast enough, about not being puppets of the organizations, the National Rifles. I mean, they'll just go crazy. So if you don't give them anybody to argue and to target with, they'll implode.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, it's like I said, like I know with me, a lot of stuff that I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
I just be like, okay, whatever. But then there's a lot of stuff I'll be like, they don't even know what they're talking about. Like, I just put a post on Instagram not too long ago, whereas they had some guy on CNN. He was talking and showing somebody else how to shoot, and the guy's holding the gun, the rifle all wrong. And the other guy was like, okay, this is 5 single shots. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you full semi-automatic. What? You know, and stuff like that you know, kind of pisses me off, because ignorance is bliss. Because how many other people will take that information and see, oh, look at this guy, look how dangerous that gun is, it's jumping around in his arm, you know. And like I was showing one of my friends tonight, and when I showed her the video, she was like, oh wow, that's a dangerous weapon. I said, okay, now watch this video. And I showed a video with Travis Haley doing a speed drill with the AR-15, going between 3 targets, you know, in a matter of like a second, like 15 rounds in a second. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so he's holding it differently, which is a proper technique of holding it. He's practicing trigger control, and it's a semi-automatic. So why are they trying to debunk something, like making up terms to make it seem like it's worse than what it really is, you know?
And because people don't read, because people don't study, because people don't look for the truth, whoever is a celebrity, whoever looks like they might know something, whoever has the prime time on television, that's it. They don't go any further than that. I never forget when I took a driving class. I took a terrorist driving course, and we were on a professional track with NASCAR teachers, and this raggedy looking Nova that we were driving, that was a special souped up vehicle that allowed us to do J-turns and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff like the Dukes of Hazzard. Once we got in that car and the real drivers got behind it, man, they were doing vehicle dynamics. I didn't even know that was such a word. We were doing drifts and cutting through apexes, and we were doing high speed J-turns, and I didn't even know cars could do that except for on television. And it's the same way when you run a firearm.
Yeah.
If you don't have any training, that tool is limited. But if you are trained, then you know what you can do with it. And that works both sides. You can scare people with that same methodology. Or if they saw Jerry Miculek shoot a revolver like he does, they'll be trying to ban wheel guns again.
That's a true statement. Did you ever take a course that shows you how to shoot angles? Like, it shows you like how to shoot and make the bullet like bounce off the ground and everything.
Oh yeah.
And everything. I did that one time, but it was back in like 96, 97. And however it was supposed to be the course where you learn how to drive and everything like that. But I had a detail, so I couldn't do the driving portion, but I did the shooting portion, like shooting around a car, different angles, making the bullet bounce and all that. And I was like, man, that's pretty interesting, you know. But then again, it's like you said, once you start talking to people and doing stuff like that, it can freak people out. But then again, if you know the capabilities of what your tool will allow you to do, that arms you a whole lot better.
And it go back to martial arts as well. I've seen, how many people have seen a guy who he doesn't weigh anything have somebody submission, and you're like, how in the world did you just move that big guy? But if you don't know how the body works or how arms don't bend a certain way, you can't do it.
Oh yeah, that's all day, every day.
Yeah. You have no idea until you actually get training. And right now, folks are going off of fiction. We're going off of fantasy. You're going off of what Senator Dianne Feinstein, who's been trying to ban guns since the invention of gunpowder. I think she's been like in office at the same amount of time.
Yeah, well, you know, my whole thing is one thing I don't agree with, because like I told you a few conversations ago, I do honestly believe a lot of the politicians are upset because they didn't get paid off like somebody else got paid off, you know, because that's what it all comes down to, is just self-gratification, you know. So if you didn't get paid off by this lobbyist, I'm going to make it hard for you, and I'm going to get everybody on board to make it hard for you.
You got some of that. You also got right before all this stuff happened, I heard of the Trump slump. They were saying that firearms, man, sales were going down. People weren't buying anything because there was no rush to do so. But see, now I had a friend from Florida call me the other day. He said, "Hey, man, they're probably gonna start banning ARs down here. Which one do you think I should get?" And I was thinking, the Trump slump is over. You're a guy who didn't ever have an AR before. He's gonna buy one or two now. I was like,
Yeah.
and it's been the same way, dude, since I've been involved in this thing since '91.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do believe that that's a good marketing strategy, but at the same time, it's a good marketing strategy. That same strategy can implode on you because that could be the door for something else devastating to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not willing to take a chance to find out what that chance could be, or
Yeah,
that turn it could take. I don't want to take that chance.
the assault weapons ban in '94. So yeah, '94. The folks bought like 3 and 4 firearms because they wanted to get it before the ban hit. And then everybody had like 5 ARs, and then the price dropped down because everybody had a lot of them. Okay. At one time they were like 1,500, 2,000 a piece. Then they went back down to 600, 900.
I remember. What I can't remember what year this was, but I do remember I was in Charlotte and I was with my uncle, and we went to the gun store, and people was going crazy over the AR-15, and they had like the little sub models you get at Walmart for like $600. They were selling those for $1,700.
There you go.
And I was sitting back like, man,
About that time.
Yeah, I was like, why they buying that? They ain't even put too much science into that. That's just a bunch of parts put together right there. But
we've done it with ammo. They'll say, well, those are cop killer bullets. It's like,
oh yeah,
what kind of bullets kill cops? All bullets, not
Yeah.
just these. And so then they're just going to ban this one label. Man, we've been going through this thing forever. We have so many laws on the books that haven't saved anybody's life. Folks just get spun up, and the horse has left the corral. I mean, that thing is out. There's just evil out here. There's people that will do harm to you, and there's two people. There's one person that'll run, and there's one that'll fight. And we're talking to the people who will fight.
Yeah. Now I do know that overall, when you turn around and you look at it, to me, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly because what people are doing is you're picking sides off of what, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even verbalizing it properly, but when you sit there and you look at politics, both sides have valid points, because say like if one side says something that doesn't make any sense, but the other side, who I normally don't agree with, say something makes sense, okay, I'm cool with that. Now that same opinion can, on another topic, can flop sides. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, right now, I think it's just going to get ugly, because now big businesses are going to get involved in it, because I believe since a lot of people are turning away from the NRA, a lot of the big businesses are doing the same thing, and they're going to start using business platforms to start swaying political interests that same way.
Oh, it has always been there, man. No change.
Yeah.
There's a couple of those companies that they had already dropped their affiliation with the NRA before this thing even popped up. It wasn't making any money for them. It's always about cash, dude. Right now, everybody's getting ready for the big NRA annual meeting in Dallas. So there's a lot of companies that have built their whole reputation of like, all right, let's put an affiliate program together for these 3.5, 4.5, 5 million members that the NRA has. It's about money. And nobody even knew that these companies were associated with the NRA. So they pulling their programs down. And it got nothing to do with Parkland, Florida. It's just that their stuff didn't work. So they're going to kind of bounce back from it and use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's money. It's always been about money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But what they say, money's the root of all evil. So
it's the love of money. That's the root of all evil. That's the technical thing. In the Bible, people get all twisted. Man, yeah, if you love money so much, then that's when you get jacked up.
Yeah. Well, you know, like how it goes, man. You know, you just got some people out there who just bounce around and they just talk to be talking, and then you got
They
other
do.
people out there who are really in the fight for their reason. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and ask you this one. What would be your solution for the school shootings? What do you think will actually make schools a safer place?
Education.
That's what.
Need to educate the kids on what firearms do, what they don't do, and then also educate people on um, dealing with people with problems, with noticing when somebody has a mental issue, when somebody's not feeling well, and there's when your peers are not acting right. There should be steps. Um,
Mm,
Teenagers are teenagers. They always got moods. They're moody. They're up and down. It's what teenagers do. Puberty hits and your mind goes crazy. So it's hard to kind of jump in there, but you should also know that we are our brother's keeper and our sister's keeper. So I would say do a little health evaluation, do that as well as some firearms instruction. Learn about what's the word when you conflict resolution. Learn about that whole bullying thing. Man, that just blows my mind on how it's different now than it was when I was a kid. Bullies have always existed. They exist in grown-ups, but they treat it differently now. We need to go back and actually learn how to talk to people and and learn to really pinpoint real problems and not the ones we make up in our head.
I agree with that. And you know, like one thing I've always said, if you bring back good music, you know, like if you're into R&B, because that's what I grew up on. A lot of the old school R&B, you know, you put it on, start cleaning the house and everything, and of course, you know, you go to a gathering. That was the music that kind of joined everybody in together. Once you took that music out of the equation, everything went haywire. You know, so it just don't do it no more. You know,
Music is universal.
yeah, that is true. So who would you say is the blame? Because you know, like how everybody's pointing the finger, no, it was you, no, it was you, it was you. Even the NRA is getting blamed for the school shootings. You know, so who would you say is the ultimate blame factor in all this?
Our culture, our society. Nobody gets lost immediately. We get lost one step at a time. So we had a lot of stuff happening. Our culture became a lot more stuck into the cell phone individual thing versus being with other people. We don't talk, we don't communicate with each other. We don't spend time. Those cookouts are few and far between. The older folks do it, but the young folks don't. And if you isolate anybody, you make them nuts. That's a punishment. You put people in jail, you isolate them, and it makes them. It's a punishment to be by yourself. We self choose to be by ourselves, and we got a whole generation of people who don't know how to handle stress, don't know how to handle each other, and it's happened gradually over time. It didn't happen like right away. So hopefully, the pendulum will swing back slowly or fast. Hopefully, back the other direction where we're talking about each other and caring about each other. I know as a preacher, I'm always talking about love. That's my thing, man. It's,
Right.
it's, it's what really binds people together, and we gotta come back to that.
I totally agree. You know, I know like somebody had posed that question to me the other day, and I sat there and I thought about it for about 30 seconds to a minute before I answered it. And I was honestly like, society, that's the one to blame, you know. And then, of course, you know, you get the crazy look like, why would you say that? And I was like, okay, so let's take this back to the first incident that comes in my mind: Rodney King getting beat. You know, you saw it on video, like those cops, they went to court and they beat the trial, right? The jury trial, of course. But if you was to actually put them in jail, hold them to the letter of the law for what they did, that would have set the tone for future incidents and every incident like that. You know, because now, in my mind, Man, you gonna throw a cop in jail for what he did? You ain't got to worry about me doing nothing. You know.
Here's something about Rodney King. I remember when it happened, and a lot of people don't realize that when you go to court, there's a lot of things that come up in court that don't happen on media, don't happen on the news on purpose, because they don't want you to know the details. The details kind of kill the story.
Right.
Rodney King at the time was a big dude who was high on PCP, who had a long history, and the cops that arrested him were terrified of this dude. After they got him on the ground, he got back up, and he got back up in a way that inmates used to do right before they disarm somebody. And these guys freaked out and started wailing on him with their PR-24s. That was that Tonfa looking nightstick. And normally, if you are pain compliant, you're going to stop movement. Well, this dude didn't stop. He still was struggling. So they just like totally lost it. Didn't use any training. Training went out the window. They panicked, saw a big black dude that might kick their butts, and they just started stomping and beating this dude. And all that came out in the court. Didn't come out on camera. So all we got was the view of white cops beating a brother down, and folks went nuts. And then when the court case actually happened and all that stuff came out, the lack of training, the fear factor, these dudes punked out. This dude was hyped up on drugs. All them little details is why them guys walked. But that stuff doesn't sell. And it's better to say that it was racism. It's better to say that they just beat a brother down. The details about that. And then later you see Rodney talking about, why can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
That dude knew what it went down. He was there.
Yeah, I didn't know about the PCP factor of it.
And he actually got some money. He won his case on some levels, so on civil things, and it was doing really well. But then the money, I guess, went back to his old ways and got, hooked on dope again. I think he died like early because his health was bad. Right. But it's a lot of stuff where cops get in it, and the details don't come out.
Right. Well, that's everything, because the agenda is make certain people look bad,
separate us, make sure we never get together.
Exactly. So, but like once again, this is the society that we're living in today.
Yeah, we're actually so much alike. Our cultures, we all want the same things. We just don't know it. And as soon as we get together, as soon as things happen so that we can be on one accord, somebody throws something in the mix to separate us so that we can still fight each other, because they make money off of the fight and the conflict. They don't want you to have peace, not in this lifetime.
Very true. That's very true. What they say, drama sells?
It does, man, all day. And if we're going to lead, then the story got to bleed. So put some blood in it, make some blood in the water, draw the sharks, make this story. It's funny how when TMZ first started, they were basically just gossiping, talking crazy stuff. But now almost every news channel you watch takes from TMZ. TMZ leads now. Their news actually better than the stuff you see on television. You got people, except for the weather, everybody else is making up stories and trying to sound all lifestyleish and cute. It used to be just the facts. The facts are gone, man. The facts are boring. So if you're going to try to talk about gun rights stuff, about the Second Amendment, and you're talking facts, it ain't sexy no more. You got to get drama. You got to be emotional. And then that stuff grabs the camera. So the people who we watch on television, people who are stars in this thing, are drama queens. They can bring the action. They can make you hate them. They can make you fired up. And if you can keep that going, you got the camera on you.
Yeah. I don't watch TV like that. I watch a movie here and there. But normally, like I said, my source is reading. Yeah. And remember, I told you, like, I don't even listen to the radio no more. I listen to talk radio now.
You old school, man.
Yeah. So, and it's all because of, like I said, the music is not good music anymore, in my personal opinion.
Going back to music again. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you can pick and choose, but I'm not willing to listen to 40 songs for 2 good songs.
I know. And the same songs tomorrow, they'll be on again, same time.
Yep. And they play them all throughout the day. That's the funny thing right there. Yeah. So we're gonna link up on in July.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah, July 21st. Come on down, and actually, you can hold the camera when I give Kevin Dixie this hug.
Oh, so it's a date. It's July 21st.
Yeah, July 21st. We're bringing Aiming for the Truth to Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
Before the 21st of July, starting next month, we're gonna go ahead and raffle off this scope, a Kestrel. It's gonna be with the scope and a proper bag. So here's your Kestrel, right? Goes with that scope. And then we got the other scope, which is a Bushnell that goes on the AR platform, 1-6 variable, low power variable. And that's going to be another raffle with another proper bag that's going to come with that. You know?
All right, I'm about to get some lessons from you, some education about these scopes, man. I want to get a glass for my next AR.
Oh yeah. So honestly, I would say go with the low power variable. So you just got to figure out which type of math you want to do. You know, so some of them is going to be a little bit more math process in it. You know what I'm saying? Whether if you have the numbers in there, so you need to figure out what range you want to zero at and run with it. Or you can get the ones that don't have the numbers in it, it's just the lines, but now you just got to figure out what you're going to zero at and then figure out what your distances are for line. That's a lot of memory right there, you know, without the numbers in it.
All right, I got a topic. I'm going to have to write this down. This is going to be a question for the future.
You know, like I said, I got you through it, you know, so make it fun. Like
all right, cool. You ready for the wrap up?
Oh yeah, we can go ahead and close this out. First things first, if you want to contact me, feel free. You can email me at info@m-wtactical.com, or just give me a call, 803-250-1256. If I don't answer, send a text message or leave a voice message, and I'll get back to you. Even if you just want to talk and just say, hey, you know, or tell me what you want to hear us talk about on the show. Or if you want me to call Ken on three-way, give me a call. I call him. If he answers, we'll talk. You know. If you haven't done so also, go on Instagram and follow me on Instagram under M-W-Tactical or MunitionsWeaponsTactical. The same thing on Twitter. And on Facebook, go to M-W-Tactical. But other than that, that's all I got.
All right, man. Appreciate you taking the time to school me on some stuff this morning or this afternoon. And we're going to make it happen again soon. Thank you guys for checking out this video. And if you got any comments, please send them to Michael. Let him know. Let him help you out like he helped me out.
Yeah, no problem. You know, one team, one fight. We'll make it work. So until next week, keep shooting, keep practicing, and have fun. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, big guy. Way to go.